Hey, y'all, this is Ryan Monso, and this is the Talking About Them Cougars podcast from GoCoogs.com. We are live. Brad Towns going to be with us in a minute, but,
We're live?
what do you, he's got the, we're live, Brad. That's going really great. You're awesome. But first,
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. F- it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
all right, we're back tonight. Kelvin Sampson, Austin Carlisle, Jayden York, Joseph Manjack, and of course the Godfather, our friend Galen Robinson. Brad, you're eating Star Pizza every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Lunch specials 11 to 3. It's $8 for a personal pizza and a drink. That's insane. It's $13.95 for all you can eat on Tuesdays and Fridays with a drink. You can't beat it. 3 locations: Katy, Washington, Shepherd, and 59. What are you eating tonight?
I am eating a delicious sausage pepperoni with extra cheese on wheat crust.
Oh, that's
You gotta try it.
I didn't know you were a meat lover.
Huh?
Nothing.
Come on now.
We appreciate y'all being here. This is pretty great for us. Our first ever live show on non-reaction evenings. The comments are coming in. We love them. Thank you so much. Had Star Pizza a few months ago. Great deal. Another season. Really excited for all the shows. Here we go. The Godfather. Okay, so here's the thing with that. You know, on TV, they put like the real star of the show last, and it's "and this person." That's what we're doing with Galen. Okay?
True. Yeah.
Galen is the absolute star of this whole thing. We know it. You know it. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about them Cougars. Yes, we are. So, Bradley, a lot going on. You got a new AD this week or yesterday,
Brand
I
new.
guess. Brand new. Eddie Nunez, LSU guy, New Mexico guy. Florida guy, played basketball at Florida. We're going to ask Kelvin Sampson about that. What are your first thoughts?
It was different than what I thought, just because the last name that popped up before that, Nunez was a name that we heard early. That name popped up about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of surprised that the name came back, but especially when a new name leaked. The guy from Tennessee.
Yeah.
So it was a surprise. We'll see. I'm just happy.
Yeah, and I think that's all you can say is that you don't have this great wealth of information about him. New Mexico is spending so much less than U of H, and it's because the market is small, the TV deal is small, the donor base is small. So I am curious to hear what his vision is. He sold Renew and Tillman and everyone on this vision. So I want to hear it from him and see what he says. We're going to try to get him on this show very soon.
Be nice.
So I'm looking forward to that. Please keep sending your comments and everything. We're going to jump right into it in just a minute with Austin Carlisle, the quarterback from Ridgepoint High School. He's a 3-star guy. He's on a team with like 100 D1 athletes. They may have more D1 athletes than some U of H teams we have gone and paid to watch. So let's bring him in. This is Austin Carlisle. Austin, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
What's up? You can hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Sure.
So Austin's got a little bit of a cold. He's playing through it. We appreciate that. Austin, how's it going, buddy?
Good. I'm doing good. How you doing?
We are great. Austin is one of these young people that doesn't turn his camera the right way, but you're fine. Your Christmas tree looks great too.
Is that right?
Yeah. No, you're good. I don't care. I'm just screwing with you. So, Austin, you're the first guest we've ever had doing this show live. We appreciate you being here. Tell us about your game. What are you good at? Where do you need to work to get to the field in the college game? Okay, I believe he might have.
Ryan, you broke his camera.
I did. Damn it.
You mess
That
everything up, man.
Stupid tree. I blame the tree. We'll hopefully get
Can you
him
say that
back.
one more time. It's all cutting out the connection.
Okay, Austin. So
The
You're
connection's
good.
cutting out. Can you say that one more time, please?
yes, sir. Can you hear me now? I
I
think
can hear
this
you
is a
now.
good start, Brad. Okay. So tell people what your game is about. Where are you good? What are you good at doing? And then where do you need to improve in order to get on the field in the college level?
I think just continue to build up my IQ of the game, and then also just continue to keep doing what I'm doing on and off the field. Keep being a great leader, motivator, and just being that guy to be there for my teammates.
What is it? Tell me about your game right now. Where is your strength?
I would just say being a guy everyone can fall back on, and being there and just being able to extend plays and make something out of nothing. And also just my IQ, being able to do some things with my brain and just be able to be one step ahead of the defenders, just knowing their tendencies.
Okay. So talk to me about U of H contacting you. When did you first hear from U of H? Who was it that contacted you, and how did that go?
So originally I had a good relationship with Coach Bell when he was at Baylor. So
Okay.
that carried on since my freshman year. And that was actually the first ever football camp I went to because I was also big in baseball. I was a D1 baseball player before I stopped playing baseball and just fully continued football. And then I was also getting recruited by Fritz at Tulane. I went up there a couple of times. So then immediately when they moved down here, I was like, this is just home. I feel home. And then just being able to build that connection with Coach Bell, knowing him. And he came to my spring. He stayed there the whole spring game and watched, and it just went on from there.
Do they still
Okay.
send letters, recruiting letters anymore? Or is it just all
They
digital?
send stuff in the
Good question.
mail, but it's majority all over text.
Yeah, okay, I'm just with the change in technology. I'm always interested in what's the new thing that's going on. What's the process of recruiting these days? Is it they reach out to you? Is it you go to them in a camp, sending out videos? Walk me through that whole process.
I mean, it's really all about relationships, to be honest. I mean, you can go to camps and get seen. You could get seen from your school during spring. Obviously, there's that time period where you can get recruited in the little recruiting areas. But I mean, really, at the end of the day, if you're good, they're going to come find you. That's something I figured out. Like, no matter where you go, they're going to come find you. But majority how mine went, I would do workouts at my school because as being a quarterback, they want to see you throw, obviously, in person because that's the leader of the team. That's the leader of the guy, leader of the class. So majority of mine was me throwing in front of coaches and me going out there and proving myself. That's something I've always been about. So I think I ended up racking up around 25 offers. So all those times just going out there proving myself. And it's kind of like, I mean, I went to camps, but mine was more people coming to my school, coaches coming to my school and evaluating me there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So you had relationships with Sean Bell and Willie, but they didn't offer you right when they got to Houston. It took a little bit of time. So
Yes,
what
sir.
was the process like before they got to that offer, and what was it they needed to see?
Coach Bell actually he came to see me the first day of spring, and ever since he would just continuously text me ever since then and build a relationship with me since then. Coach Fritz actually is one of the only head coaches I've ever seen to come to my school and just start recruiting players there by himself. So during the December recruiting period, he showed up. He's good friends with my head coach. He came up
Okay.
to school, watched me work that up there. So he saw me then, and then he was like, okay, I need to tell my quarterback coach, Coach Bell, to come watch me. Coach Bell came and watched me, and then after he finished up his recruiting trail, I think he only offered like two other guys, but he really wanted me. He always told me that he wanted me to stay home and stay in town and play for the city. But he really always wanted to offer me in person. So after he came and watched me during spring, he didn't offer me that day, but he always said he liked what he saw. He liked me, but he always wanted to offer me back in person. So we were always trying to figure out days to set up where I could come back on campus because obviously I was busy with school and everything and all the
Yeah.
other stuff I had. So it took about that 2-week process for me to even get back on campus. And then the day I got back on campus, they offered me and made it a whole big day for me.
That's awesome. It's surprising you say that you don't see head coaches coming and recruiting
Yeah.
on their own. You've got so many D1 athletes on your team.
Oh, yes.
I'd be camped out. That just
Oh, yeah.
doesn't seem to make any sense.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
We got a whole bunch of guys.
What are your thoughts on Willie Fritz? What have you seen from him that makes you want to go play for him?
I mean, that's my guy. Like that he is for the players. He is for the team. Every time I've been to practice, he runs around. I don't even know how old he is, but he can't be that young. He runs around like he's still in college. He's on his microphone. He's always there. High-fiving the team, doing everything. And really just playing for him is just something super special because everything he's done with programs. And that's something I did a lot of research on whenever like I was kind of going through my decision. And just him and how he does changes programs and everything like that was very huge to my decision.
You know, that's one thing that pisses me off about him is that I'm out there at practice for 3 hours and I'm worn out and all I do is stand there.
Mm-hmm.
And he runs around and he's from this end of the field to that end of the other field to the other. He's running special teams plays. He's working with the quarterback. It's exhausting watching him standing still. And I mean, he's 20 plus years older than me. So not a fan of that, but it's really cool to see. The relationship with Sean Bell, how does the quarterback become comfortable with a quarterback coach? How does he sell you on his vision?
For me personally, I think it's really based off of personality and how he grew up and hearing his story, kind of how my story was. He always emphasized a story to me that him coming out of high school, he had like he had a couple offers, but he wanted the Baylor offer. And once Baylor offered him, boom, he took it right on the spot because at that moment it was his only Power 5 offer. And he wanted to prove all the people wrong that he can do it and go start at a Power 5 or Power 4, whatever they call now, Power 4 school. And go show everyone in the world that no matter how tall you are, no matter how much you weigh, anything like that, that anybody can do it. So, and he always emphasized to me like how he loved it, how I play the chip on my shoulder, and I play with a lot of heart in my game. Like I don't just do it for myself; I do it for everybody else. So being able to connect with him on that level is just something that was very huge. I mean, I love the coaching, I love everything he does, the development of quarterbacks, but just being able to touch him, being able to touch me on the personal level like that is something that was very huge.
Okay. Brad?
What kind of when Coach Fritz shows up to your school, what kind of impact does that have on you as a recruit? What does that tell you about the head coach?
I mean, it just shows me how much they really want me. I mean, I was getting phone calls and texts from school every day, busy every day, talking to coaches. But when he gets in his car and drives over to my school, it shows me how important I am to that school and how much they want me there. And he really emphasizes staying in the city. I mean, I was all for it. And I know we're probably going to go into asking about getting other players too, but I told him immediately as he came to my school, I said, I know so many people around this city and state that we can make a super team. And I I wasn't joking. I was like, we can make a super team. I know so many people around the area. Like, we can do something serious. And he was like, I'm with it. Let's go. And then ever since then, just relationships were built.
Nice. I like
Do
to
you
hear it.
think do you think it's the job of a quarterback recruit to recruit other guys?
Yes, and that I completely agree. And that's exactly what I told him as soon as I committed. I said, "Let's go." I said, "We're gonna go get everybody." They gave me guys to get. Boom, text them. And I know most of the people in the area just from working out with them and
Mm-hmm.
going to certain lessons and trainings and stuff like that, and all the 7-on-7. So I have a lot of connections around the area. So just that being really huge, and that's one of the things they always emphasize to me too, that they always appreciate me for. Is just being able to go out there and know guys and get guys, and because I have a lot of good relationships with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that has stood out to me about you is your enthusiasm to go recruit other guys using social media. I'm sure you're doing it one-on-one. So
Yes, sir.
that has shown me something. What is your relationship like with the quarterbacks currently on the U of H team?
So me and Donovan, I remember the first time I went on campus, I met him, and after that we started working out together. We both train with the same quarterback trainer, JP Tillman. He goes by the QB Tech. So we instantly after that, I trusted him, and after I heard that he goes the same quarterback trainer with me, I mean, I just instantly knew that this is a guy I can connect with. And on my official visit, he was the guy who took me around and everything. So I have a really good bond with him, a relationship with him, and then obviously I've met the other guys, but I'm probably closest with Donovan, or I know Donovan most. I mean, we throw routes on air sometimes. We all go up to the indoor and we throw with the college guys and bring some of the high school guys. And throughout whenever this process was all first beginning, and I had got offered by them, we were up there in the Houston facility when Tank Dell used to train up there. So we would all throw with him, and then I would try to bring in some of the guys we were trying to get, and it just go from there.
Nice.
It's got to be pretty cool to throw with Tank Dell, what he's done in
yeah.
this city. And I mean, when
Yeah.
he came on campus, nobody really knew anything about him. And 3 years later, he's the guy.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was the new football operations building something that was important to you? Is that something that recruits really care about?
I think for me personally, like I just want to go. I want to go start and win a job. So whatever can get me on the field the fastest way, and whatever I can do to help my game. I mean, they had really nice facilities already, but I think the new operations center is going to help like get a lot more people and big time recruits once it's completely done. I mean, obviously, I'm not done recruiting. I'm still going. Because I'm signing early, graduating early, so I'm going up early.
Okay.
So to get as many guys as I can, I think that'll help a lot. But for me, decision wise, it was more about the family and everything they showed with the coaching staff wise.
Okay. I like to ask all current players this question, and I'll ask you. Kurt Hester, the strength and conditioning guy.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously met with him on your official visit. What was that like? What's your relationship with him?
I mean, it's just straight up respect for him. After he told me about all the guys that he's trained and all the guys he sent to the league and all the guys that he's coached that are in the league currently. I mean, as a quarterback, you want to build strength in your arm and legs using your lower body. And the ways that he said he could develop me and help me throw farther, throw harder, get velocity, all the rotational stuff. Like he has certain programs that are set up like for me quarterback wise, rather than just going up there trying to bulk up and mess up my shoulder or anything like that. Like he has certain programs that are going to help me get better as my position. So he's very good at what he does.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. And
Intimidating.
Very intimidating.
Yep. He didn't no smiles, no laughs.
No.
But that's what you want out of a strength and
Yes.
conditioning coach.
True.
I hated my strength and conditioning coach for the first month, and when that was over with, he's one of my favorite coaches I've ever had in my life.
Yep.
Because he'll kill you, but it'll make you better.
True.
In Austin, you'll be at pretty much every home game, right?
Try my best. Yeah, to be because I play Friday night. Sometimes I have Saturday night
Yeah.
games, but try to be at most.
Okay.
How's
Awesome.
the season looking so far, or how's it going to look this year? What are your thoughts going forward on your season?
I mean, going back to y'all saying about how we have so many guys with offers and so many D1 recruits on our team. I mean, if you're asking me, we're the most balanced we've ever been. Like, if there's any year, I'm telling you, like, this is the year. And then how they regroup the playoff brackets and everything like that. Like, I think this is a good year. I mean, we have 2 4-star corners. We have mostly our whole defense has offers. We're older on defense this year was what we were missing a little bit of. We were very young last year. Offense, we have a lot of returners. We got some new transfers. I mean, we just played such good together as an offense, like connection-wise, and that's something I really try to emphasize is being able to be on the same page with my receivers, my O-line, running backs, being able to tell what to do in certain situations, making sure that I'm not the smartest person, even though I should be the smartest person on the offense, making sure everybody knows what I'm thinking. So we all come together. We do film. We eat dinner together. We do activities. We do bonding stuff. I just think it's going to be a special year.
Awesome.
Great.
Look forward to following it.
Yes, sir.
Austin, what do you want to study when you get to U of H?
My mom actually went there and she did the business Bowers, the Bauer Business School. So that's what I'm going to do as well.
Awesome. That sounds great.
Nice to have a plan before you step in.
Of course.
Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
Yes, sir.
How often are you coming to U of H? I know that you're practicing, you play on the 30th, but are you still making trips to the campus?
Of course, yeah. During their the recruiting period just kind of died down.
Right.
So whenever it was still open, I mean, I was up there at practice watching as many days as I could, because obviously it's still the recruiting process. So I'm trying to still evaluate the coaches and everything as much as possible to see how they coach. And because before I committed, I never really got to watch how they coached and everything like that. I wasn't able to go up to any spring practices because of how busy I was. So being able to go through this fall camp and everything, watching them kind of go through practice a little bit before it closed was huge. Because just getting to see the way that we were talking about how Coach Fritz runs around practice and the way Coach Bell treats the quarterbacks and all the drills he does is really amazing.
I think it's pretty cool that you're able to get that much insight to be fully prepared and knowing exactly what you're getting into.
Yes,
I like
sir.
that. I like that.
Awesome. Well, Austin, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Austin's a
Yes,
little
sir.
under the weather, still playing through it. That's what you want to see from your quarterback of the future. Austin
Right.
Carlisle will be watching. We appreciate you so much for joining
Yes,
us, man.
sir. Sounds
Good
good.
luck, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a pretty good start.
That's right.
That was a pretty
Firing
good
on all
start.
cylinders.
We had a little problem there at the beginning, but we worked through it. And
Absolutely.
we're just gonna keep figuring that out.
You
Thanks,
gotta be-
Austin, so much.
You got to be excited to have guys like that.
Yeah.
It's just talented and's got it together upstairs. That's vital.
The quarterback has always had to be the leader, but it always hasn't been this apparent to people on the outside. Not all quarterbacks are vocal. They sometimes lead by example. He is definitely, it seems, doing both, and very impressed to see him. We are just a couple minutes out from Kelvin Sampson joining us. We are excited to join with him. Here's the thing. Brad has never interviewed him. So hopefully we get Kelvin to yell at him. That's my goal. That's
Everybody
what I'm
yells
looking
at
for.
me.
Well,
Everybody yells at me.
it's different with
I even got Galen to yell at me a couple of times.
Well, you probably deserved it. I don't remember what that was, but let's be real. You deserved it. What are you looking forward to from this football team this year?
I'm really looking forward to seeing a team grow. It's really, my mindset is really kind of like it is with basketball. Is that I look forward to seeing what we have when they step on the field, on the court, and then watch that thing grow and develop and improve and get better week by week by week. And just watching Coach Fritz from afar, I think he's going to be able to really shape and mold this as we go. We're not going to be the same team day one that we are in December.
Right. Well, I think you're going to see improvement month over month. I think
Right.
it's weird to expect it, every single week because their college kids are going to have letdowns. But overall, month to month, I think you're going to see that grow, that improvement, and that's really the thing that I am so excited to see and so excited to cover. I mean, last year, it was so boring every week going on a podcast with the same story. We talked about the exact same thing every week.
Yeah, it was the same
And
mistakes. every
it's
single week.
great when you talk about winning every week. But talking about what we've talked about for the last few years, it's been brutal. And we're not going to have to deal with that. I think you're going to struggle. You're just going to have struggles this year.
Right.
But
Sure.
I think there's going to be progress. And that is something that you can attach yourself to and you can get excited about. Brad, this is the question you have to ask. Ask if they practice free throws. Kelvin really appreciates this question. He loves when fans jump in with this question.
Yeah.
So I think that's yours. It's all you, and make that happen.
Yeah. I don't know. That or recruiting, right?
Yeah, he loves and the schedule. He likes to be questioned about the schedule.
Hey, who's on the schedule for 2029?
Yeah. You should really get into that. He's going to love that. I think we really destroy UNLV. I am unsure about this. They have a lot of question marks. Their defense has a lot of question marks. They faded down the stretch last year. U of H did too. You got that win at Baylor in overtime, and then you kind of fell apart the last part of the season.
Yeah.
And then the week before, I believe, was Kansas State, where you got just absolutely destroyed, embarrassed. Big things can happen at U of H. Look at the history. Can we ask if exhibition will sell tickets? I have never asked Kelvin about ticket selling, and I am guessing that's going to be a lot like free throws. Not asking that question, but we can find out for you, Diego. But I'm not asking him that on a podcast.
No, you need to
That's
ask him in
just-
person so I can see him choke you.
Yes, you see the marks around my neck. He's never gotten that. I feel like I have gotten off pretty easy with him because I really try to, be smart about things that I ask. Not that always works, but I try.
Right.
So yeah. So back to Nunes. I don't know if we got to really finish this, but he's coming into a situation he's never had, and I am interested to see how he goes about it. Does he bring in his staff? Does he hire people that are attuned to his ideas, or does he try to do it with the same people that are on staff now?
Right.
I don't know which is the right answer. I know that the results you've had to this point, not great. And over the last 10 or 15 or 20 years, yes, the giving has gone up, but you're still so far behind.
Well, the weird college sports is in such a weird spot right now because every year there's something new. There's new rules. Yeah. There's new everything. All of a sudden, a staff is gone, players are gone, new players are in. It's hard to tell what one place is going to look like from year to year. So in the past, you could look at previous seasons, thinking back about the UNLV game and what they might look like. I don't know if it matters how well they finished or how poor they finished. That there's really no telling what they're gonna bring. They sure, going into last year, nobody expected them to do what they did.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, okay. So we're gonna move on. We're happy that we got him, Kelvin Sampson, in the home office. It appears.
Yeah.
That's right.
You guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Coach, how are you doing? Thank you so much for
Yeah,
doing
very
this.
good.
We appreciate it.
You bet, fellas. How's everybody doing? You guys had a good summer?
Yes,
sir.
it's almost over, so that's great.
It's great for some people, maybe not for others.
True.
You've got 12 more hours of vacation.
My vacation ended somewhere around the 1st of July, I think.
Yeah. You came back in time for a hurricane, right?
Yeah, and that's a little bit of a ongoing saga in my backyard too. We got hit pretty hard with that, but no complaints. There's a lot of people worse shape, so all in all, we'll get over it. It'll get fixed eventually.
Coach, to get into Eddie Nunez, did you have a relationship with him before this process started?
No, I don't think I'd ever heard of him.
Okay. So what did you get out of meeting with him and your interactions with him through this interview process?
Well, I think anytime you're interviewing Ryan, it's all a crapshoot, man. There's no guarantees. That's one of the reasons why I hire like I hire. You know, I don't do resumes. People don't call me. I don't take calls from people. When I hire a manager, I get to watch him for 4 years. That's all I need to do. If you play for me, I know you better than anybody. So everybody has their way of hiring people. Tillman and Renew, they had a plan that they wanted to execute with this hire, and they did. But this is a great opportunity for Eddie. He's got a hard job.
Yeah.
There is no easy jobs on college campuses. They're all hard. These are hard jobs. So they decided to offer the job to Eddie, and we're here to help him and support him, and he's here to help us and support us too.
From your perspective, is it better to have a basketball guy in that head job?
Well, I've never had one, so I don't know. I've never had a basketball guy. For me, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
The athletic director really doesn't impact my job as much as you think. I'm on my 4th AD here. I'm on my 5th football coach. So whoever the athletic director is, I'm going to work with him. But I'm going to fight for my program. I think I've worked for 11 or 12 different athletic directors, and everybody has an outside perspective. Most of the outside perspectives are usually clueless because you don't know what an AD does or how he goes about his day-to-day existence. He has a senior staff, and they all have different responsibilities. I think the 2 hardest jobs on a college campus are being the president, being the athletic director. I think they're almost impossible jobs. And more. That's why more and more athletic directors are either resigning or retiring, because the jobs have become almost impossible. But it's like I told him, though, if I was going to transition from the American Athletic Conference to the Big 12, I'd rather be in a city like Houston because we have so many untapped resources. Whether it's Fortune 500 companies, companies that are right under that. We have an oil and gas corridor that I'm still trying to figure out why we haven't tapped into. And there's so many opportunities here to form partnerships with people that can be beneficial to both. Especially now that we're in the Big 12 and we have the eyeballs that we play in front of. But there's always a with any job, people that are that excel in their jobs have a clear understanding of how they want to do it, and they do it their way. And you can't try to please people when you're in these jobs, because if you do, you're going to be sitting with them, and then what do you have? It's like coaching basketball. I've yet to meet a fan that knows more basketball than I do. So why would I listen to them?
So you've had 8 weeks of summer workouts. You had 4 a week off and then 4 more. You get, I think, 8 hours a week. Is that correct, Coach?
Correct.
And 4 of them are basketball related.
No, we do it whatever. We'll do whatever how I say we do it.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
I choose how we do the 8 hours. It's not the NCAA. They just give you 8 hours. You can do whatever you want to. It can be 1 and 7. It can be 6, 7 hours and 45 minutes and 15 minutes. It just depends on how you want to do it.
You give your assistant coaches a lot of leeway to lead those practices early in the week before you take over on Friday. Yeah,
they're not really. We only have one practice.
Okay.
And I run that practice. The other ones are workouts that we design to introduce our new players to certain things, and then we have a kind of accountability workouts for our returning players. We have goals that they need to achieve, but I've learned to be careful when I hear, like I'll talk to a kid that we're interested in, and I say, what have you been doing today, Billy? He said, I've been working out. I said, oh yeah? What have you been doing? He said, well, I got up 300 shots. I said, well, that's not a workout. That's not working out. That's standing or moving from spot to spot, catching and shooting. I got a granddaughter that can work you out. All she got to do is throw you the ball. What is working out? Everybody's definition of something is all they know. Well, it's not our definition. So, Mondays is individual workouts. Our individual workouts doesn't involve catching and shooting basketballs. It's working on our it could be it's usually gradual. It's usually a incremental process where we go from, let's say, the first Monday, second, third, fourth Monday in June, early July, and then the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. So every Monday is an increment of something. So it could be pick and roll, defense awareness. It could be help side defense awareness. It could be whatever we decide we want to work on. But there's always a method behind our madness. We don't do anything without thought and purpose. Purpose is a big part of accomplishing your goals or building a team. They have to know exactly what it is we're trying to do. And I've always believed very much in the whole part, whole method. Like I'll sit and say, this is what it's going to look like. It's like think about buying a jigsaw puzzle. The thing that draws you to that puzzle is the picture on the front. Well, that's what the puzzle looks like when it's all put together. But as soon as you open it up and you dump it out on the table, it's just 500 different pieces. Well, that's what it looks like to our team. I show them what it looks like, but that's January, February, March. Okay. Well, starting in June, July, you start putting the pieces together. It's like people are innocent when they ask this. They say, Coach, are you ready for the season? The easy answer is, of course not. They got a lot of work to do. but I don't have time to explain the process. But there is a process that I've always enjoyed putting the pieces together. Even in November, you're the puzzle is not together in November. I get amazed at people that want to put periods at the end of sentences in November. Losing games in November and December is really, and I'm sure I've said this before, it never really ever bothered me. It just has not. I mean, we win a lot of games in November, December, but I remember I don't remember what years these are anymore, but I remember one year we played at Oregon and won. We played at Virginia and won. But let's say we had lost those games. I mean, what's the big deal? What's it look like in January and February? Losing or winning a game in November and December really has no impact on how you're going to look in January and February. So for me, it's I just know what the process looks like. I'm a big date guy. Like I know what our teams should look like in November around Thanksgiving. I know what our team should look like around Christmas. I know what our team should look like around Valentine's Day. And then I know what I would like for it to look like around St. Patrick's Day. So all those dates for me, I have burned in my brain how I think our team should look. Now, I don't think I'm smart enough to be able to explain it to somebody. They say, people, if you've been doing this 40 years, you've heard all the questions. Coach, do you think your team's where it should be? Never really understood how to answer that. But your team is always going to be a work in progress. It's never going to be a finished work in progress. And there's not enough time to prepare for every single scenario. And that's the thing as a coach that you shouldn't try to do. Sit around and think about what's the worst thing can happen. You better focus on the here and now. And I enjoy doing that. Mondays are Mondays in June, July. Tuesdays are Tuesdays. Wednesdays are culture days. Culture days means I can tell that they don't really have anything planned for them on Wednesdays, but I always can look down on the floor to tell the guys that are serious about being good at it. They're usually down there. Those are days when the Galen Robinsons, or some guys you'd be surprised were never in there on a Wednesday, but they didn't love it. The guys that love it are in there on Wednesdays, and they all love it, but just they love it at different levels. Like Emmanuel Sharp on this team, we got a lot of guys that love it. So you'll see a lot, and some of them you'll say, "Well, I hope he has a good year." His year's not going to be as good as it should be because he's not in there on Wednesdays.
Okay. You talked about putting a period on a sentence in November. You put one on a sentence in March, and you step back away from that. How do you look back at that season, winning a Big 12 title? Is that everybody that is a fan of this program thinks of that as a massive accomplishment. Do you?
It's hard. It's hard to win the Big 12. Look at the. I'll tell you how to put it in perspective. I was head coach in the Big 12 for 12 years, and we won one regular season title, and we won 3 tournament titles in 12 years. But look at all the different teams that have won a championship over the last 30 years. Just look how many have done it. That shows you how hard it is. Look at the teams that's in the Big 12 right now and how many teams have done it. More teams have not. Kansas I remember coaching against Kansas when their best player was Paul Pierce, when their best player was Rafe LaFrentz and Jock Bond, Jared Haas, Drew Gooden, Nick Collison, Kirk Heinrich. Those teams either won or right there to win it every year because they had the best players and they had a great coach. So to win the Big 12, the people that think that that's a major accomplishment are right.
Okay. How is Milos adapting?
Milos.
Milos. I've said it different every time I've said it.
Well, his name, his mother. I always go home there. I always ask the mother.
Yeah.
Right.
Because my mother was really protective of my name. Growing up, a lot of people called me Kevin or Calvin. And my mother would always say, his name is Kelvin. And she was really protective. And she'd always tell me, if somebody ever calls you something other than Kelvin, I put a lot of thought in naming you, son. Make sure they say your name right. So I always think about these kids. When we recruit a kid that has a name that you can butcher, and believe me, I butchered them all. Nobody worse than me. But I asked his mother, how do you pronounce your son's name? She said Milos. So let's go with Milos.
Okay. How is he adapting to the culture, and is he where he should be at this point?
There you go. There you go. There you go. I have no idea where he should be on the calendar in June. Or what month? August. They go fast. You know, the advantage he has is he's out there with a lot of guys that's been through a lot of wars. They help him a lot. Bishop helps him. Quantas helps him. Hollis helps him. He gets a lot of help, but you know, he's a I would say Milos is a pleaser. He wants to do well, and as long as he keeps coming to work every day with the right attitude, and giving the right effort, he'll get to where he wants to be.
You just mentioned Bishop, and I've always been curious. How do transfers deal with him when they first encounter him? That's got to be difficult coming from other programs.
Well, anybody that comes in here is dealing with him for the first time.
Right.
If you're new to the program, doesn't matter whether you come from a 4-year school or a high school. He's still new to you. But I would say on the scale of 1 to 10, our kids would say our practices, the intensity level is would be high, and the weight room is different. Like Bishop cannot get them in shape for basketball. He there's nothing he does that equals what we do. Mm-hmm. What he does is get them in shape so I can get them in shape. You know, he puts them in a position where we can do it. He can only take them so far, and then there's this. Then he hits the ceiling. Like you know, basketball is nonstop action. There's nothing he does that can equal a practice. You know, what he does is change their bodies. You know, the one thing I tell all our assistants eventually will be head coaches. I said, there's only one person in your program that can establish your culture, and that's you, the head coach, nobody else. I think what Bishop does a great job of is knowing what our program stands for and tries to emulate it as much as possible in the weight room. And you know, when I was in grad school at Michigan State University in the late 70s, early 80s, most of my classes were either exercise physiology and or kinesiology. And I had when I finished my master's, they offered me a fellowship to get my doctorate in kinesiology. I applied for a bunch of basketball jobs and couldn't get them. I couldn't get a job. Of course, I was only 20. I was applying for college jobs. I figured since we won the national championship with Manjack in '79 that would help, but it didn't. They realized I had nothing to do with it. They were right. So, but I learned a lot about the study of human movement. And then when I got to the NBA, I realized how good those strength coaches were. And then, one of the best strength coaches I had was Jeff Watkinson. He went on to become the head strength coach for the Atlanta Hawks. And then I had another great strength coach that's now the head strength coach at University of Texas. So I've always had a great strength coach. So when I got here, I didn't. But that was no surprise. The poor guy that they gave, the poor guy inherited as a strength coach. I think he had 4 other teams he's working with, and it's paying him about 75 cents an hour. I felt bad for him. But that was the level of where the job was at that time too. But after I think Bishop was my third one. I inherited one, terminated another one, and then when I brought Bishop in, I could tell we connected on a physio level. Bishop understood how to connect dots in the weight room. I loved the fact that he was a certified nutritionist, because we didn't have a training table at the time. They didn't feed the kids nothing. I knew I had to change that. You have to change everything top to bottom. You know, it's one of the things I told Nunez the other day is, I think when I took the basketball program over in 2014, I think that's about where the athletic department is right now. It can be done. You got to get in there and figure it out, and nobody can help you. You got to figure it out yourself. People that's got comments have no idea how to be an athletic director, so don't listen to them. Just like nobody knows how to coach a college basketball team, don't listen to him on that either. But if he'll go in there and know how to do it, he's going to have to know how to do it. And he's got a great opportunity here. But Bishop knew how to do it. He knew how to build a performance. From a performance standpoint, he knew how to get our kids from point A to B. And I didn't want to get that hire wrong. I don't like hiring off resumes. It's like the people that call you about a person, right? Well, what do you think they're going to say? Or the people they list on their resume, here's some calls you can make. Well, what do you think they got their calls down? I'd rather call somebody that you don't know but may know you. I may learn more from that guy. So I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. That's why I don't hire off resumes. Mm-hmm. Those people can trick you. Hollis can't trick me. KC can't trick me. Bishop did not trick me. Kellen can't trick me. Lauren can't trick me. There's a reason why our program from year to year to year to year to year to year, every year, is because of our staff. Players come and go. We've had everybody from Damian Dotson to the New York Knicks to Jamal Shedd to the Toronto Raptors. Our program keeps going because we have not missed on our hires. And if you miss on a hire, you better correct it as soon as possible. That's the thing that's made the San Antonio Spurs one of the great NBA programs of all time. They miss on some draft choices. Don't look at them now. They're building it back up. It's a hard league to build in. But San Antonio know exactly how to fix the problem. Most people don't.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach. We appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Okay, guys. Let's get out there and support my man, Willie Fritz. Love him. I think we're going to have a great football program. I have no idea how good they'll be this year. I have no idea, but I know he's the real deal. And I'm looking forward to getting out there and supporting this football team, and don't forget about that volleyball team either. We got them coming up too. I mean, Coach Dave Rear, and those girls. I went and watched them play a couple of matches last year. They're awesome, but we got to get this football thing going, and let's go get some tickets, go out there and watch them play, and hopefully we can go get after UNLV and keep building and building. But we got a good one in Willie Fritz.
For sure. Thank you so much, Coach.
Okay.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yes, sir. That wasn't bad. It was okay. If you like that kind of thing.
Things are changing here.
Yeah.
There's something there. Everybody in the chat, there's something going on.
There is. There is a synergy between coaches, which you haven't seen in the longest time. And that is, there's no AD that makes that happen.
Right.
It's great coaches understand each other and connect.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to move on because this show is just going to keep moving. And I'll be goddamned if these kids all have their cameras the wrong way. Everybody's favorite zero, Joseph Manjack, and Jayden York, the newest tight end sensation.
Welcome, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Joseph on your left, Jayden on your right. Are y'all in the same apartment?
No.
Oh, okay. The walls all look the same. I didn't know.
I think it would be funny if y'all were sitting right next to each other.
That could be kind of dumb.
I had the chair ready for him, but he didn't want to come.
Wow. That's the saddest thing I've ever seen. Sitting next to an empty chair.
Quick question. Jayden, what is that shirt? Let me see that shirt.
That's that Shasta Blast.
Oh, they just came back from the Shasta Blast.
Nice. Yeah. I like that. I like that.
Thank you. I like it too. It's nice.
Okay, so we want to do some really hard-hitting, in-depth questions here. Jayden, what's the most annoying thing about Manjack?
He just sent me a video about 15 minutes ago. That was not funny.
No?
Yeah, sometimes he's not funny.
I agree with that. Joseph, how did the two of y'all become friends?
When he came into early this year, I remember him being the academic center, and I was just messing with him, trying to crack jokes. He would just look at me and then look away. I was like, I'm gonna make him break one day. So I just kept messing consistently, and then one thing led to another. We got to know each other pretty good. So that's my guy now. Does he ever make you laugh, Jayden?
He do. He's funny sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay. You told me, Jayden, this is to you. You told me one of the big reasons you chose U of H was Kurt Hester, the strength and conditioning guy.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? What is it about him? You came from Texas Tech. You know big time strength and conditioning. What was it about him?
His background, his resume. He said he had like 500 players in the league already. He said me committing to him, he was committing to me for my combine training. He's got me for that. He said he knows 7. He's black belt, specializing in like 7 different kung fu's, jujitsus, and all that. So,
do you believe him?
Yeah, I believe him.
Okay, all right.
You believe him too?
Yeah, he scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, he's real deal.
Yeah,
he's real deal.
Just chokes you out with a stare. So now that you've been here a little bit, is it what you thought? Working out for him, having him just tear you up?
I'm just trying to take in anything he says. Like, I'm trying to hear it. Like, it's new knowledge. I'm trying to just learn from him as much as possible. Like,
right.
So whatever he says, I'm hearing him. I'm taking him serious, whether he's being funny or not.
Hey, Joseph, talk to me about the offensive line. How did they look like they have been coming together through fall camp?
Everything starts off not the way you want it to go, but Our last scrimmage was yesterday, and I mean they looked great yesterday, and I was really impressed how they were looking. It got me excited and fired up, ready to get after it.
Hey, Jayden, can you explain this photo to me?
What you want to know? That's Texas right there. That's Texas in one pick.
Do you wear a cowboy hat in your normal life every day?
I do
No,
not.
I didn't
Cowboy
think so.
Boots. I need to get some boots.
Your boy looks like he's very comfortable in that cowboy hat
Yeah, it fit too good.
with the zero. Yeah, it fit too good. Yeah. Jayden, have you ever thought about playing a game with no gloves on?
I used to play high school with no gloves.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What changed?
No gloves is the normal. Shoot, I just got to college and everybody wore gloves. So I'm like, if you can catch without them, you can catch with them. Like that's how I feel.
They give them to you for free. You should use them.
Might
But
as well.
not everybody uses them. Joseph, I have a question for you about punt team. This is my favorite thing in the world to talk about. You've been returning punts. Do you feel like this staff is going to be more aggressive in punt return than the previous?
Our old staff was pretty aggressive with it, but I mean the way we practice with it, we go over it just as much as, if not more, as the old staff. And I mean, it's fun out there, and I feel like they're going to be really emphasizing on trying to get some punt returns back to the crib this year. So I'd say they're going to be more aggressive, if I had to say.
Jayden, do you think this staff practices special teams a lot, a little, normal?
I think they practice it a lot. We go over at least 2 kicking games a day in a meeting, and then in practice it's the same. So yeah, we'll go over two different kicking games every practice. So yeah, I think we practice a lot, which is needed.
You're the only white jersey on punts. Everybody else on that punt team is in a red jersey, which means defense for our viewers. Why are you the only offensive guy, and why are you on that punt team?
I've been doing the shield for a couple of years now. It's kind of really just a mentality thing.
Okay.
I'm one of the more I guess I would say one of the more physical guys on the team. So you put me right there. Nothing should get past me.
Real.
That's true. Hey, Joseph, besides doing some punt return, what are your responsibilities on special teams?
I'm really just the off returner on KOR and back up on punt return. So really my job is just to catch it first and then do whatever you got to do next. But first and foremost, my job is to catch the rock first and then do whatever it is I need to do to get up the field.
A lot of guys aren't comfortable catching that punt in live situations. Are you?
I mean, comfortable.
I mean, you're standing there and people are running crazy right at you.
Well, you got to be a little crazy to do that job.
Yeah, you do.
Well, I trust my 10 versus their first 10, so just a little bit of space, and I'm not much scared of the ball. I'm more scared about someone running scot-free, but I trust.
He got enough speed. He ain't got to worry about that. He ain't got enough speed.
Yeah.
Still got that fair catch in the back pocket.
Yeah, still got that. Always got that. Hey, Joseph, you knew Holman Edwards when he was here before. What do you think about this story with him coming back?
It was funny. I seen him the other day, and I was like, Holman, after you leaving, and he left December 2022, and I was like, I never thought about the next time I see you, but I never would have guessed it would have been back in his locker room. It was pretty, and I was, man, he's a good dude. It was good to see. Glad he's back with a little bit longer.
Brad, what you got?
Question for Jayden. Looking at your bio, says you love Alfredo chicken. Have you ever had Star Pizza's Alfredo chicken?
I don't even know what Stars Pizza is.
Oh man.
Oh
Well,
my goodness, that is the
we gotta
worst
we
thing.
gotta we gotta tell you about it. It is
I'm going to tell you
delicious.
something, Jayden. That is the smartest way to get an NIL deal I've ever heard. Is I've never even heard of them. Maybe somebody should throw me some money and I'll go over it. Yeah, I got it. I'm with you.
Hey, you said it. I didn't.
Mhm. But then
That's all you
it
had?
also says you hate spaghetti. How does that work?
I don't like the red sauce and the noodles combo. Alfredo
Okay, well,
and noodles.
that makes more
good
sense.
together. Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
I'm with you on that one.
Why does that make any damn sense at all?
It does. Hey, you get it for the sauce. I mean, you're not just eating the noodles by
Exactly.
itself.
But you like the red sauce on a pizza.
It's baked. It's different. Like it's no noodles with it.
See?
You know.
See, he knows.
Right? Okay.
Hey, you're a
Yes.
small
It's
dude.
better
You don't
than
know nothing
Alfredo.
about food.
He don't know.
But real question. You played with Donovan back
Yes, sir.
at Tech, right?
Yes, sir.
What do you think? How does he different today as a person and a player from what you knew of him at Tech?
It's just crazy to watch like your friends mature. Like he was a kid. He was an 18-year-old coming out of high school, coming out of what friendship out there in Lubbock. So like he's still at home. He's just a hometown kid playing quarterback at the college now.
Right.
But now he's like big time. He's mature. Like that's a real NFL quarterback. I feel like he knows more about the offense, defense than anyone in the facility.
Mhm.
That's how I feel. Like it's just been crazy to watch him mature and turn into the man he is. Like, yeah.
And Joseph, what do you see in Donovan as far as the evolution from last year to this year, and how this new offense and this new kind of just a brand new life here at U of H football? What are you seeing the difference in the 2 seasons so far?
I've noticed his more seriousness in the offseason. You know, he had to get surgery on his shoulder, and so he didn't really get to rep at all in the spring, and he was trying to get back, rehabbing all summer to try to be back ready for summer workouts. And I'm pretty sure he was, and he was just very serious and intimate on being detailed on whatever it is he needs to get done for the for fall camp and get ready for the season, and it's been impressive. Because last year, you know, I didn't notice him being serious. I know he was serious, but this year it was cranked up a notch, and his seriousness has really changed since he's been out and trying to prove himself once again. And you know, if there's one thing I would say, it would be his seriousness.
Yeah, I mean, you get to this point in your career, all of a sudden you realize that, you know, this it could be over quick.
Right.
It's time to let the let it loose.
Not for him. He's going to play in the NFL, best believe it.
For sure.
That's you know, we've seen a lot of talk in the media, and he caught my eye when U of H played against Tech the year before last.
Yeah, I guess he did.
But also again in the Texas game. And you know, I've got friends who go to Texas Tech, and I texted them, I said, "Man, y'all got a real serious quarterback right here." And then he ends up coming to U of H, and he showed that in spurts here. I'm looking for him to make that next step, because I really do. I see the talent there, and I see the ability, and I hope that this is an opportunity to really pull it all together for him.
Right. I agree. You know, last year he came in to a new offense in the Holgerson air raid, so it was, you know, trying to pick that up. But with this new staff and this new offense, he just had nothing but time to sit back and develop and take notes and bits and pieces before he even gets started. And since he started, compared to where he was last year with the offense, I feel like he's miles ahead of where he was. So I don't have concerns or doubts about him. I know he's going to do his thing, and whatever needs to get done, he'll get after it. I believe him, with no doubts in my mind, my heart.
Is the offense a little simpler as far as the approach and the scheme itself? Is it pared down or anything? What do you see as the difference?
There's really not too many differences. Just, you know, different vocabulary, you know, and getting
Right.
up how you want to get to the finishing product, but it's not too complicated. It's just different vocabulary, and try to understand all that is what is the difficult part. But once you put it together, it's not a very difficult offense at all.
Right.
Okay.
Cool.
Jayden, tell me about Malik Carr.
Shoot, what you want to know?
I want you to tell me about his game. What do you see from him? What do you respect in his game?
He got hands. I think he got some of the best hands on the team. You seen his highlights. He make crazy catches. He make one-handed catches like they nothing. I'd be getting mad at him at practice when he go for one-handed catches. I'm like, go for it with two. Go for it with two. Like, nah, yeah. He a freak of nature. Malik the Freak. That's what they call him.
When he shook my hand, it looked like a grown man putting a Frito in his hand.
Hey.
His hand was so big, and I felt like such a little bitch. Joseph,
that's a tackle playing tight end. Move running 20 miles an hour.
the thing about him is, I believe it was Tuesday night, y'all were in the stadium, and they had him in the slot, and he was running fade routes, a tight end.
Yeah.
And I just like, what in the blue hell are y'all doing? And he didn't make the catch, but he ran the route exactly how it's supposed to be run.
Hey, he said, Coach, throw me 12 of them, I'm gonna catch 10 of them.
Every coach will gladly take that.
Said Coach tonight.
So you told me that this is a tight end friendly offense.
Sure.
Obviously, getting to run routes like that is tight end friendly. But what else makes it tight end friendly?
Your OC being a tight end coach and just having trust in you, like just like that, for instance, like him being able to tell coach like trust me, throw the ball up to me, I'm gonna catch it. And he put the play in for him. He designed the play for him.
Okay, Joseph, tell me about Jonah Wilson. A lot of fans have told me they didn't realize he was going to probably start. What is it that he has done developing his game?
He's a big competitor most of all. So he approaches every day trying to get better, and he competes his ass off. So for him, he just whatever he's working on that day, it could be one thing, it could be everything. He's just going there to compete and try to beat everybody lined up against him or in that receiver room. He's just competing his tail off versus whoever it is.
Okay. You got anything else, Brad?
Yes. In college football 25, who's your favorite player?
Me?
Yeah.
Jayden York.
That's smart.
Well played. Jayden?
I ain't even gonna. Manjack's good and all. He's good at fades and corner routes. Hey, he's undefeated on the goal line corner routes. If you need a goal line corner, go straight to Manjack. I'm not even gonna lie. Ty Brooks, that's my running back one.
Okay.
Taj Brooks,
pretty good.
They go crazy on the game.
How weird is seeing that game?
That's crazy seeing yourself on the game. Like,
I don't even have a game system, so I've played maybe a couple times, and I didn't even play a whole game. So just for the few moments that I saw it, I thought it was incredible. It's pretty crazy to believe that it's a real
That's
thing.
pretty cool.
I have been begging people at U of H to let us put a system down on the field at TDECU and use the new scoreboard and play on there. And you could people would pay lots of money to NIL to do that. And I think you get 1 hour playing with Jayden York and you get X dollars for NIL. That's pretty good.
Put my game out there like that. I didn't say I was the best or none of that.
Well, that's the thing.
Once I get good, then we can talk about that. Yeah, when I feel like I'm good enough to do all that, we can talk about that then.
Okay, so when Jayden gets good at playing a video game, he'll take your money to go play it with you, but only when he gets good.
Right on.
Okay, good job.
Based on the big screen.
All right, so last question, but besides the two of you, who's the funniest guy on this team?
You want to say it on? Want to say it on 3?
Anthony Ganji. Anthony Ganji. Dane Tucker. Who else is funny?
But
Matt Barnes.
like,
I find Matt Barnes hilarious.
Ganji's on another level. Like,
yeah, Ganji, he could be a comedian. Like, he could do anything. Like,
we were talking about him being president the other day. Like,
yeah.
He's too short.
I'll vote for him.
I would.
Short guys can't be president.
There's a height requirement for president?
Yeah, people my height will never be president. Okay, it's just never going to happen.
But you're little.
Ganji either. No, I bow up on Ganji. I can, yeah.
We're gonna have to bring him on for that.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow.
Hey, don't sleep on Ganji now. He might bite back. You might get bugged. You might bite back though.
No, he will. He'll whoop my ass. Yeah, that's not a concern. We all know that's happening.
Hey, that's
all
great
right.
content.
Yep. Joseph, Jayden, we appreciate y'all so much. This was great. Thank y'all so much for doing this.
Thanks for coming back, guys.
Thank you for having
All
me.
right. That's Jayden York, tight end of the future. Joseph Manjack, receiver of the past. GoCoogs. Yeah, there you go. Just kidding. I love Manjack. Thank y'all so much. All right. So let's reset. We had Austin Carlisle, quarterback of the future, Kelvin Sampson, who schooled us. Although I don't think he got on me a little, but
not really.
Not bad. And then you got those two guys, those knuckleheads who are a blast. So when practice ends, the people that are talking to the media come and speak to us, whether it's assistant coaches, Willie, players, whatever. A couple of players hang around on the field and do certain things. Those two guys always go together. They're running routes. They're making throws to each other. They always get that extra practice at the end before they go and cool off at the cooling station or now in the big semi-trailer that they have to cool off in. But those guys work, and I have been so impressed with both. I think Jayden is going to be a revelation. Malik Carr is too. They're going to do things with the tight end. Having the offensive coordinator work with the tight ends. So in camp, you would have everybody together 11 on 11. And then the other guys would come in for 7 on 7. But during the majority of the practice, when you're just with your unit, Kevin Barbay, the offensive coordinator, would work with the tight ends. And to get your tight ends that level of coaching and that level of trust with the offensive coordinator is going to be a big deal. Mm-hmm. And so I think you're going to see quite a bit from that position this year.
I mean, if they're going to be out there, you need to make them a threat. Use them as a threat. So it'll be nice. It'll be nice to see. I'm just really looking forward. I haven't looked forward to football season like this in a long time. I'm getting that same feeling even back before U of H became a juggernaut in basketball. You always look forward to seeing where this team is going to start and where it's going to end. And it because since the day that Willie was hired and the first time you hear him talk, you just feel something's different.
Yeah. And I mean, I see it a lot. The practices are different. The way the players communicate with the coaches is different. The training table, the nutrition, the meetings, they're all different. You've never heard, it's been a long time since you've heard a football coach talk about the strength and conditioning guy the way you've heard players do it. If you look at the 30 plus pieces of content we've done in fall camp, you hear it over and over and over with guys of how impressed they are with Kurt Hester. So, I've been really impressed with what we've seen. The comments are so backed up. There's 50 comments we haven't even gotten to. I'm going to just try to go. the glasses do not look fine. Do you see the reflection in the? It looks awful. So
Yes.
I try to. Yeah. So that's a no go. Peggy Grote, her father was Dave Williams. I talk about Dave Williams almost every day of my life. I played golf with the women's golf coach, Lydia Gasprilla, the other day, and we talked about Coach Williams and about the innovations in the game that he brought about. The man did more with his sport than any other man has ever done with any college sport ever. I mean, you'd have to go back to John Heisman or Adolph Rupp or guys like that. I mean, Dave Williams invented college golf, and that was her father. And I remember the one time I got to interact with him, and then I remember the day he passed in December of '98, and I got to write about it, and that was a big deal for me. And I mean, he just did so many things that were crazy in the sport of college golf. And Coach and I played golf, and she whooped my ass. I'm not gonna lie. It was not as bad as it could have been. I kept it semi-competitive, although she's just really, really good.
Just think back then. You had Bill Gilman, Gabby Lewis, Dave Williams, and Tom Tellez in the same little bitty cramped office space over there on Cullen. But you talk about guys who truly changed their sports and left such a massive impact on it. It's crazy to think that that's what U of H was, and it feels
and did it on a dime budget.
Oh, but like a nickel and a penny.
Yeah, that's less than a dime.
What else we got?
Just looking at some things.
Here,
people wanting me to ask.
Pull one up for you. There you go.
It's a young woman. Her name is Cameron. I have gotten to know her just a littlest bit. She's great. She has an assistant sports editor named Thomas Graham. Got to meet him. It's going to be different not having Starnes around. I'm going to be honest with you. We made an offer to Starnes to come on full time to work for GoCoogs. He chose to go a different route. I think he's going outside of sports media. And so when we find out what he's doing, I talked to him yesterday, actually. I am so excited by Starnes. I think he's such a good guy, and he's a talented writer. And we have tried to get him to do things, and he's done a lot for us. And he was a great sports editor. He was
good stat man.
He's a stat guy, stats by Starnes. But he also he that job is really hard. I mean, it's just very little money, and you have to want it. You have to want to be great, and he did, and he did a great job. And so I appreciate that. You should have let Brad ask that. This has to be back to Kelvin. We never had a non-fair catch under applesauce. Brad with the serious questions. Yeah. I think it was the Donovan question that he's talking about.
I think it was about the chicken Alfredo.
Well, obviously could have been that. Easy on this. Easy. Ryan, have you tried out the chill zone? I saw they opened it up and let players in, and then they closed that door. I did not go in it. I just that seems like their thing. I don't need to be in it. So I mean, it's a great idea. It's just it's their spot, and I'm not gonna get into that. Where is Galen? That is a very interesting question. Galen is somewhere over the Pacific heading to Shanghai. So we announced Galen was going to do this show on Tuesday, Monday, Sunday. I don't know what day it was. And within 5 minutes of us announcing that he was going to do this show, he got a call telling him he was going back to China.
Yeah.
I'm like, son of a. So what we did was on Friday, we recorded an interview with Galen. So this part is going to be a non-live part of this show. But we talked with Galen about what he did this summer, what he's about to do, what he thinks of what he's seen from this U of H program. You think we should go ahead and air that now? Yeah, let's do that.
Let it
So
rock.
here's Galen. It's about 9 minutes of Galen and Towns and me. For the people that don't know, why you did not play in the TBT.
Well, I had got this opportunity to do this little thing in China, and definitely something that doesn't come around often. So I had to do that, and by doing that, I didn't know when I would be back specifically. So I didn't want to give a definite go, and then I wasn't going to be able to play because I was still over there, and then now they're out of, you know what I'm saying, they're out of appointment.
Yep.
So yeah, I didn't feel like that was fair. So I was just like, you know what, since it's cutting it close, just err on the side of caution, and then, yeah, so that was the reason why.
So was it like a basketball tour over there, or
Yeah, basically.
who all were y'all playing? Were y'all playing like their
we were playing
international?
other national, like different countries' national teams, and that we also played a CBA team.
Oh,
Was it helping teams prepare for the Olympics?
No, I guess these teams weren't good enough to make it, but yeah, or qualify. But like we played the Italian national team, and we played the Cuban national team as well, and I forget the name of it. I can't pronounce the CBA team, but we played one of those teams over there too.
Okay.
We're all
By the
good
way,
players.
we have your name in traditional Chinese right here on the screen. That says Godfather, and then mine, which is Grumpy Old Man, and then Towns' which
That's
is
crazy.
just dumb fuck. So we're not doing this live, as people probably can tell. Why are we not doing it live?
Because the day that we were supposed to do it live, I'm going to be in the air heading back to China.
Okay, so what is this one?
They liked how I played, so now it's kind of like they want to see me again, basically.
Okay, is it a long-term deal or like a same
We'll
kind of
see.
link?
We'll
Okay.
see. Yeah.
What do you know about China today that you didn't know 2 or 3 months ago?
Chinese heat has Texas heat beat by a mile.
What do you
It's
mean?
like how hot it is.
Yeah.
They won. Like it's hotter over there significantly, for sure. And the reason why is because you walk inside and it's just as hot. You can't escape it. So it's like those people will be riding mopeds, and they'll have like blankets on their arms so they don't get tan. Crazy. I was just like, hey man, do what you gotta do, but yeah, it was crazy for sure.
Towns, you went to China to play basketball, right? Am I
Yeah.
making that up?
Yeah. No, I did. I was in China in 1991 in
Yeah.
Shanghai.
Wow.
I tell you what, Shanghai today looks nothing like the Shanghai back then.
Yeah.
That's so weird that it changed 35 years.
It didn't
From
just
time
it
to-
didn't just
Yeah.
change. I mean, it went from having what I remember maybe a handful of high rises to being nothing but
Yeah.
like that Bund area right along the river. That's all skyline. That's all
Yeah.
high rises now. There wasn't anything.
So after China, what are your plans? Do you have anything NBA G League?
Yeah. The Pelicans are interested in bringing me back. So, but I mean,
Nice.
it's just a matter of what's, I guess, the path that God wants me to pick, man. You know,
Got to juggle the
Okay.
offers. Got to
Yeah.
get this deal right.
So God wants you to take the most money. So I hope whatever
for
you
sure.
do,
But it's just like if
you take the
something
most
doesn't
money.
work out, then as long as
You have options.
Yeah. I guess that's the one way to put it. Yeah.
Okay. Tell me how much have you been around the current U of H team this summer?
Not at all. I haven't been around. I mean, I'm sure I've been there. I've been there and seen the guys, and there was a couple times where I was in the gym and I met what's it, Milos?
Milos.
Yeah.
Milos
met
wins
him
again.
One night in the gym, he was going up against some shots. Ran into Cordell a few times. Yeah, but other than that, it's just I haven't really been,
Well,
around
those are the two guys I actually wanted to ask you about. What do you think? What the little you saw of Milos, what do you think?
I can see why Coach Sampson was interested for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, but other than that, I don't like going into the gym at nighttime to get up several hundreds of shots. It's like that's a guy like that gets it, And also, him, Cordell, and Malik. I've seen Cordell and Malik probably the most. But
okay.
Yeah.
When you say you understand why Kelvin was interested, break that down. What's that mean?
We're just a product of our habits. You
Okay.
know, it's just like in the summertime, you're in Houston. I think the guys are probably off. You come into the facility, shoot 400 or 500 shots, makes. Like, that's not on a Friday night. I mean, you got, the sky's the limit when you're that young in the city of Houston. But, it's habits like that during those types of, the opportunity to do something different. That speaks volumes about somebody, about how serious someone is about, trying to, impact the program in a positive way.
And how does Cordell look different from a year ago, 6 months ago?
I'd say just more so knowing what the demands are, like knowing what it takes in order to get for a coach to allow you to do certain things. Like it's almost like every time I'm in there at nighttime, like he's in there, and I have to go to the women's gym because I don't even like running into him and having to stop my work. Like it's just, bro, you got it. Like so it's I'd say it's just more so like his perspective. I'd say has changed, and it's like doing something consistently. Never hurt nobody.
Yeah,
and that's hard to do.
Yeah,
it's hard to do. I mean, it's easy to do it whenever you're expected to do it. It's hard to do it when that's just part of your daily life.
Yeah,
because it seems to be human nature that you always want to do what's kind of easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's comfort zone, but it's just like being a talented high school kid, there are probably days where you could take off. And it's just like once you get to college, playing behind a guy like Jamal, it's just like the food chain restarts. So now you're back at the bottom, and it's just like you kind of got to earn your right in order for the coaches. You got to put in a certain amount of hours, a certain amount of reps for the coaches, for them to have confidence in letting you do certain things, So it's like I'd say in that regard, his perspective and his understanding has definitely grown because, like you said, Coach Sampson, all the coaches. The players may change, but their standards will not, no matter who puts on that uniform. So,
okay. So, what's coming from Substantial?
some sweatsuit sets.
What?
Like it's
Old
like
school?
a hoodie and sweats, like a set.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's I'm actually very excited for those, but it's just like gotta wait till it gets a little cooler out.
How big are you going to make those?
Till about
Because I would be
4-inch,
interested.
maybe.
I would be interested in hooking Towns up in some baby blue or baby pink kind of full sweatsuit.
That's crazy. Like I got a baby pink too, just to.
And hold on, you need to go old school, like 1987 Lecoq Sportif velour.
I don't even know what that means.
Hey, yeah, Towns. Yeah. That's a lot of velour for a 5X, man. That's
Fila suits, man. Way back in the day.
I'm gonna make Towns a 1-on-1 5X. 1-on-1.
Rocking it Big Daddy Kane style.
Yeah, 1-on-1, man. 5X5.
I would definitely put that on.
I would hope so, brother.
podcast.
I would hope so.
I love that guy. I love that guy. To put all that velour together, I think pink would be just. I would take you out like you would be my little Make-A-Wish kid. I would just drag you everywhere, all over town.
The world's largest peep.
Yes, you would. That would be scary as hell. That was a lot of fun.
That was.
We just went bam, bam, bam. So
I can't believe we actually kept things together and flowing like we were supposed to, like we planned it. That never happens. So kudos to you.
Yeah, thank you. That's been my huge, like, my biggest fear was that everybody that we wanted on the show was going to say yes. And they did. We had one other person we wanted, but we're going to get to them next week. But that everybody would come on and it would be so tight, and we would have to like juggle all of this, and it worked out okay. We had to push Kelvin out so we could get to Joseph and Jayden, but whatever. I'm sure Coach Sampson did not mind. Have you ever thought about subscribing to GoCoogs.com? We do more original porting than anybody else. We have long-form interviews. We have insider analysis. We put things on our private forum, the Veer, that we don't put anywhere else. You get real insider stuff. We document U of H history. Nobody else is doing that. We're doing things that no one else
even
does.
Doing that.
No, they're not. Starting very soon, probably this coming week, we're going to start doing bonus podcasts for subscribers only. You get the Cats, you get the Talking About Them Cougars, you get the No Conference for Old Men. You're going to get extra. And we're going to bring guests on for that. We're going to do so much more. It's only $60 a year right now to join GoCoogs. You help us. You help keep this site alive for covering U of H, unlike anybody else. Go to GoCoogs.com. There's a subscribe button right at the top of the website. Click that. There are options for monthly, which is a good bit more expensive, a yearly, and for students and staff at U of H. We're the only website that gives students and staff a severe discount off the regular price. I believe in helping students like Starnes, former students like Galen. Let's help them get to that next level and do what they want to do. That's what we're trying to do. And we also try to do it with students and staff from U of H to join our site. So GoCoogs.com, think about it. Think about supporting the work that we do. Also, go to YouTube, subscribe to our site, hit the notification bell so you get a notification every time we put content on YouTube, which, if you've been paying attention, is a lot. And Star Pizza. Star Pizza. Who doesn't love some Star Pizza? You're going to get it quite a bit over the next few days. Go order online at starpizza.net. Their people are great. You might even see these guys, probably not in those hats. There's Towns. I don't know what you're doing to make that pizza box disappear, but that was pretty impressive.
It probably wasn't showing up because of my drool. That's what I'm going to guess.
What did you have for dinner last night, Towns?
I had fettuccine Alfredo with rosemary chicken and from Star Pizza.
You had that delivered last night.
I did.
And you had Star Pizza delivered again today.
Yes.
A lot of people.
Some people say they like places.
Things.
I truly support
you. Yeah. I used to do that at Barbecue Inn. I would go like 5 days a week and eat that fried chicken and those great French fries.
Yeah. That used to be really, really good back in.
I love that place.
It's been a while since we've been there. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go there.
We might have to go ring that bell again. But Star Pizza, the people are great. They support so many different shows with U of H. They support a lot of athletes doing NIL with them. You're going to hear about several new athletes very soon. We're going to do some crazy and fun things with Star Pizza at football games, tailgating, with students, and we're pretty excited about everything coming up with them. But you've got to support them. They're pro U of H. All of their locations in Katy, on Washington, and at Shepherd at 59. Support the people that support you and support your school. Star Pizza, the buffet on Tuesdays and Fridays, the lunch specials are crazy. And you go at night, and it's a great atmosphere. It's fun. Check them out. That's my Star Pizza ad. We appreciate everybody that's tuned in. We have had so many people. We really had no idea what to expect, right? I get some weird looks wearing that cat shirt. Boy, I do too. And that's even with family. They're like, what is that? People think I'm a cat man, and I'm not a cat lady. So that's good to hear. Also not a cat person, but we do love the cats. D'Anthony is going to be on with us 2 weeks, 13 days from now. D'Anthony is going to be breaking down the UNLV game with us. D'Anthony Jones, number 44, man, he was my favorite player to deal with. He's now out in LA. He went to Long Beach Community College. That's where Brian Early found him. Came here, wrecked life on the defensive line. And he's going to be working with us. Galen will be back for basketball season. We're just going to keep exploding. This will be our, I believe, 7th football season. You and I have done this podcast for 5 of them. And this is the first time we've ever done it live. If you've ever heard us talk about it, Brad and I would get together on Sunday mornings, podcast, audio only, and would talk for 5 hours. And most of it was just BS, just yelling back and forth at each other, looking at stats we saw in different games, but we recorded all of it. And so the 5 hours would end, and it'd be like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And then I had to go through it for like 8 or 9 hours to take that 5-hour chunk and condense it into 30 usable minutes.
You did the edit for a couple of years, then I did the edit the last couple of years, and I think we came to the decision that let's end this. Let's do something different.
I did a real edit. You hit a button that just condensed things, and you said, hit it, publish, done.
Hey, I know how to work.
I did it the dumb way. Yeah, no, I'm an idiot. But this way is even more fun. It's on a little bit of a high wire. You know, this could all go to hell immediately. And I kind of expected it tonight. I'm certain you expected it, but we somehow made it out. And so good for us. Didn't expect it. Happy it happened. Do you have any final thoughts?
I'm really looking forward, guys. Something's happening. Something's happening.
Uh-oh. Did it move?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
Call me crazy. I'm thinking bowl game this year.
Well, I think that's a little crazy. I mean, maybe it happens. Maybe I'm wrong.
Anything.
Anything.
I think the potential's there.
I think the potential's there. You know, all I've seen is these guys going against these guys. And so I don't know. And, you know, you could just believe that that's going to happen. But until you get out there, I think we have a pretty good sense of the team after you see one game.
Right.
Now, this season, I think that you're going to see something after a game, but I don't think you're not putting a period there, as Kelvin would say, because this team can continue to improve. And that's what I expect. And if they improve from game 1 to game 4 to game 8 to game 12, then that's what is going to sustain this fan base.
Yeah, this year I'm really not concerned with the results. I'm more interested in the process.
Yeah,
really interested in the process. Because I mean, it's going. You're going to get a real good idea of where this program's going, and I think we're all going to be really, really happy with that.
You know, when Tom Herman came here, he talked this really great game, but he needed to get a result early on, and they went to Louisville,
Right.
and won that game by a field goal, I think, in the second or third week of the season, maybe second. And that was the first, And I don't know if Willie's going to have that. Your week 2 game is at OU. That's a little bit different.
A little
than,
bit.
A mediocre 2015 Louisville team.
Yeah.
But,
I think they were 7-6 that year.
Yeah, and then they took it to the next level that next year and then fell apart thanks to the loss at U of H.
They got exposed.
They did. And then Kentucky exposed them in LSU in a bowl game. Tough schedule. Think we're going to beat a ranked team. And good show. Subscribe with notifications. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Let's go ahead and end it. We've done long enough.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out and spending
yes.
your Sunday evening with us. If you liked it, we look forward to doing every Sunday.
Do it every Sunday until the basketball season ends.
Every Sunday. Don't forget, we're doing post game too. But every Sunday, we're going to do a weekly recap. If you don't like it, you can come on here and boo us. We'll take
That's
that
true.
too.
And
because we probably deserve it.
We will publish it.
Yeah.
It won't just get ignored. I promise you. I like constructive criticism. I really do. And Big Jack in the comments is always telling me how dumb I am. And I love it. Like, get at me. I learned that Anthony Ganji is the funniest guy in the football program. And we're going to expose that. We're going to find out. We're going to see what's what.
Yeah.
Because I did not know that. And that kid is so polite and decent, and the fact that he's funny. Okay, let's see how that goes. I'm guessing
no. I avoided that.
Towns is watching his weight.
I'm watching it get higher.
Yeah,
I'm carbo loading for the season.
He's the only person I know that counts carbs but wants them to be higher.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's going to be a long football season. And then we got
really
basketball on top of that. I mean, we're starting the marathon here, guys.
Yeah.
This is just the start of consistent through March.
I love it, though. It's an addiction. It's, now that we have all this access in football, we have all this access in basketball. By the way, the head basketball coach of the number 1 seed, number 1 in the country, Sweet 16 5 years in a row team just came on our program that Big 12 champion. This program that had never, ever had this thing just decided, yeah, I'll do that. And we appreciate that from Coach Sampson.
It's an honor.
From Jeff Conrad. Jeff Conrad made that happen. And I appreciate him so much for doing it. Manjack and Jayden York, love those guys. Austin Carlisle, that was a revelation too.
Really great. Really great to hear from him.
You never know what to expect interviewing a college player as a freshman, sophomore who's never really done media. That kid's in high school, and he was smooth. As soon as we figured out the internet, whatever that was, he was great. And you just don't see kids that polished in high school. It just does not happen. Carrot cake, not a fan. I don't understand why you would want a cake made of carrot. It doesn't make any sense. Thank you, Mario. I appreciate that. Mario did a great job with photography yesterday at Scrimmage. We're going to show you more of that. They're on Twitter. They're on Instagram, Facebook.
If nothing else, guys, visit our site to take a look at Mario's work. He does a phenomenal job.
He's the MVP of this website. I write a bajillion words. We do a ton of videos. And the MVP is the photography that paints the picture that makes everything else work. And Ann Lee has done some photography for us, Sean and other guys in the past, but Mario is our guy. And I mean, he's certainly more important than me. He's definitely more important than you.
Who wouldn't?
We appreciate him so much. All right, that's going to be it for us. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate everybody that joined in. This was a blast. We did not know what to expect for an audience. This blew away any expectation we could have had.
Yes.
So we appreciate you all, and we'll do this again next Sunday night at 8.
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. F*** it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.